Welcome to the Medical Device Made Easy podcast. Here is Monir El Azzouzi from easymedicaldevice.com. And today I wanted to talk with you about notified bodies. So I got multiple calls with some customers that were a bit, if I can say, upset with their notified bodies. And mainly their question was, okay, am I stuck with them? Should I continue with them? Or is there an alternative that I can go for? So I wanted to talk about that because, I have also issued a LinkedIn post about it. So I put an image like a manufacturer in prison and we are asking why you are here. So it's like I'm stuck with my notified body. And I just wanted to give some references or some laws that are existing, if I can say, for that, so that you are choosing yourself. I'm not encouraging anybody to quit their notified body, but choosing if you want to stay with them or change or whatever. And we can review that mainly because it's not easy. So really, I just have to put that in place. It's possible, it's just not easy. So it's why it's really important. And I had some comments on the I will maybe put the LinkedIn post on the show notes so that you can go and check them. But there are people that had really great comments, and I like also some of the images that they are providing. I will share that with you. Okay. So let's review mainly what is written on the law and mainly what are your possibilities, and if you should do it or not do it, or in which case maybe it's better to do it, or in which case maybe it's not better to do it. And also reviewing some of the question. Okay, what about the costs? Because you paid already the first notified body, so what's happening with this, etc., etc., and also the timeline. So let's start mainly. First, what I wanted to explain is mainly that you had the requirements on the law that you have to sign with a notified body before the September 2024. So September 26th of September 2024, where you had first an application provided in May 26, 2024, and then the signature maximum by September 2024. After that, you are in a transition period, means that your notified body now is taking the lead, or it's taking the responsibility for your legacy devices. So they will do mainly the review of your MDD certification. I mean, they will not issue a new certificate, but maybe they will do the surveillance audits, for example. They will check that your device is still fine, etc. And in the meantime, they are also evaluating your device for MDR. So this is mainly how this is working. So you sign the agreement. It's a contract, so you have to sign a contract because, again, notified bodies are not public company. I'm not governmental companies. They are private companies. So you have to then sign a contract with them to tell mainly what is written there, what you have to do. So you have to sign this agreement. And inside this agreement, there are a lot of clauses, and you have to verify those clauses, to verify also when you are moving out from them, what are the conditions, what are can I get my money back, for example. This is one of the questions. And this is something that you are signing. So it's really a contract that you are doing with your notified body, where as any private company, I suppose, I'm not sure, but I suppose you can negotiate a bit and then see how mainly they can help you and have a good service about that. So you sign the contract, you start your journey with them. Maybe you never worked with them before, so it's the first time, so you'll see that everything is fine. And hey, just a second. Do you need a EU, Swiss or UK representative? Then choose Easy Medical Device. We can represent you and also become your importer. Contact us at eo@easymedicaldevice.com. Start somehow that things go wrong. So it's not like a surprise. And I see that also with a lot of notified body that they say, oh, we have a lot of availability, we have some slots, we have some capacity, etc. And as soon as you sign and you start to pay, so then nobody's answering. So you have some potential delay that is piling up. You have some communications breakdown, so you send emails or you call on the phone and nobody's taking. But this is what's funny, is that everything is broken but the invoicing department is not broken at all. This is one of the things that was funny about my discussion. It was yeah, they are really bad on this and that, but they are really good in invoicing us. They are really good to sending us the invoice and then to make us pay and etc. So this is really great. What can be also going wrong, and I had few customers that are like that, the review of their technical documentation for MDR went wrong. I had a case where a manufacturer sent that to a notified body, and the notified body used an external assessor, if I can say, an external auditor for that, so independent contractor that was reviewing everything, but he was really a bit exaggerating on a lot of things, like intended. He even asked the manufacturer to change their intended use. Say, my device is doing that. No, change it. Make it that. Guys, stop this thing. So the device is already on the market. It's not like it's a device. It's a new device with new technology. No, it's already on the market. It's already used on patients, etc. And the assessor of the thing says, no, change the intended use because this one is not good. So strange. Okay, I don't have all the case because we had just discussion. I didn't review all the technical files and everything, so mainly this is I'm just telling what people are telling to me. So it's really and they were frustrated. So I'm always backing up on that thing because as I haven't reviewed everything, haven't looked at all the documents, etc. I cannot know if the manufacturer is exaggerating, or if yes, it's true, the notified body is not really doing well on this. But this is the actual situation. So just to place the problem, here is the actual problem. So you sign the agreement, and boom, you have problems that arrive. Problems also in delay. When I say delays, for example, I give my technical file for review now, and I have to wait 1.5 years to get the feedback. And one of the comments, I think I maybe didn't discuss that with the others, but one of the comments was more like, in the meantime of this 1.5 years, there were also some new MDCG guidances that were published. So we give them a technical file with what we assume will be the right answer for this, because we didn't have the MDCG guidance to help us on that. And then after 1.5 years, they put us a lot of non-conformities because the MDCG guidance says that and that and that, and we haven't applied what it says. When we say, yeah, but it was not published at that time, so how can we guess what we had to place? And then again, the problem is that, so it's when you have some non-conformities, then you have an increase of budget because they will have additional hours to review everything, and this is mainly one of the big issues. So there was this question about what to do in that case. The MDCG guidance just was published, and yes, half of it we followed, but the rest we haven't any clue that we had to follow this kind of thing. But now we are like having to deal with some non-conformities just due to that. So it's also some kind of situation. So after all this frustration, all this accumulation of issues or bad services or non-communication or whatever, there are some manufacturers that starts to say, okay, should I stay with them? Am I stuck? Because now as a business company, I see that there is a potential issue with my products, that maybe I will not be able to place it on the market because this notified body is blocking me, or is not doing the job, or etc. etc. And this is mainly where, yeah, we really have to review what are your options here, because you have options. It's just that be careful, don't jump. It's like, you know, when you go to surgery, or you go to a doctor, he say, oh, you have this issue, let's go directly to surgery and remove your feet, for example, or make an amputation. No, first let's maybe take some medicine or make some other evaluation, etc. Let's take this option of amputation at the end, really at the end. And this is mainly how also we want to review this with you, so that you are really going through the right things. So first, as we said, the question is, can you leave this notified body? Yes, I mean, as I said, you have your contract with them, so it tells you exactly what you can and cannot do. And I suppose, I haven't read the contract specifically about each notified body, but it should say, in case of you want to terminate, here is the process, etc., etc. And this is mainly how it's working. But the question also is, okay, I'm in the middle of the EU MDR review. What's about that? Is this a problem? If you are in the middle of this review, it can be a problem in the case that the problem is that if you move to another notified body, this notified body doesn't know you, so they will have to restart the review from zero. So it's also this situation. But one thing that is also important, you have really to, and this is the thing that I'm advising to people. So don't have any gap between your previous notified body and the new notified body. If you have an agreement with them that says here is a termination process, don't terminate and look for a new notified body. No, look for a new notified body and then activate this termination clause and then move from this notified body to the new one and putting the dates and everything, etc. And you have the MDCG guidance. If you want really to look at some sources that tells you can do that, you have the MDCG guidance 2022-4, where it's clearly saying that mainly you can have this new agreement with a new notified body even during the transition period. The transition between one notified body to the other is important because there are two things that are transitioning. You will be transitioning this EU MDR assessment, but you will also be transitioning this legacy device surveillance. So it's also something that is important, that this legacy device surveillance is still under the responsibility of the previous notified body, as long as the contract with the new notified body is not kicked off or there is no date of cutoff from previous to the new one, etc. So it means that you still have to deal with your old notified body as long as you have not transferred all this surveillance to the new one, which is also something that you have to understand and to agree. So these are things that you have to again write on a contract. And here there is also a good support that I can maybe share with you, which is the Team NB position paper, which mainly is providing some agreements, templates on how it should be written, what should be inside, etc. So as it's coming from the Team NB organization, so means that notified bodies knows about that, and you can use that. So this agreement or this template is talking about a formal transfer between the notified body, the outgoing notified body, and the new notified body. A transfer date also. What is the date? So by September 31st or 30th, 2025, I will be transferring from this notified body to the new notified body. And then this new notified body will assume the full responsibility for all this. What is about the surveillance continuity also? This is the terms that you have also to define inside. And a question also, because as you have a new notified body, you have also a new labeling with a new CE with a new notified body number. So what about this update of labeling? So this is mainly the question here also that you have to raise when you are doing your mainly this review within your contract. And it's why, yeah, I will try to place that also on the show notes. The Team NB position paper can be a good document to help you to make this transfer. Even if, as I've told you, notified bodies normally knows about that, so they will maybe use that or help you with that, or they maybe have already their contract linking with that, which can help. I mean, it will be great. I suppose it's also maybe something that I would maybe kick off here and or suggest here. If a notified body is listening to me, mainly, maybe it could be a good service that you have, that, you take care of everything for the transfer, which means that you have already the contracts available that you can deal with that. You can also directly contact the previous notified body and deal with them, etc. I mean, facilitate, I don't know all the elements, but facilitate this transfer from the previous notified body to the new one and helping the manufacturer by doing that. I'm saying that why? Because, for example, when I'm changing my phone operator, service provider, so mainly what's happening is that it tells me, no, don't worry, I will take care of everything. So I will contact the previous one, do the resignation, do the thing, etc. Just give me your authorization to do that, and I will take it to do it myself. Which is like a service, like, I don't take care of anything, they take care of everything. And this is mainly something that maybe can be a good feature for a notified body to say, okay, don't worry, you want to come to us, okay, don't worry, I will take care of everything, you just give me that, and I will do all the work, and this will facilitate the transfer, which can be providing you more business also, because then the manufacturers will not be like blocked by such situation. So the other thing that this was a comment that I had seen on the LinkedIn post, which was great because it says this was a person that was going through this process of transitioning from one notified body to the other, and what they said was really funny. Let me check if I can open it now, and I can just read through that to you, because as I said, it was really a funny comparison. They were saying mainly. Let me open it here. Let me read it for you. Okay, it's so I will not say the name of the person, but you'll find it directly on the LinkedIn post. So it says, I did for more than one client, so I did the transfer for more than one client. The most painful thing is the three-party agreement. So as you said, the three-party agreement is the agreement that you sign between the outgoing notified body, the new notified body, and yourself. Because the old notified body is not motivated any longer to provide anything resembling an acceptable service, they frankly do not give a rat's tail. do not give a rat's tail. It is like wanting something from your ex-partner who you left. So it was funny because it should be looking like that, like the outgoing notified body is like, I don't care anymore. I mean, they will go out. So then, they are maybe delaying things or not answering or not signing on time, etc. So this is mainly the thing that can be a bit funny. But I understand. If I was also the outgoing notified body, maybe I said, now I don't expect anything anymore from this. But I would not be liking, if I was a notified body, that people say about me that they are trying to give you to accelerate you to be inside as a client, but when you try to leave, they are really making it complicated. Because I had the situation with some banks, for example. Banks are like that. They try to put you in as quick as possible, but when you say I want to leave, close my account and everything, it's like, send me a letter list, send me the things like that. I mean, they are like a process, like a huge process, which is also a nightmare. So it's why this comparison, I liked it about the ex-partner, like you are quitting and you will it's painful to get everything back also from that. Okay, now when should you switch? Because as I told you, at a certain point you are frustrated and you say, I want to switch. It's really a strategic situation here. So don't get emotional about this. It should be a business decision. It should not be like an emotional decision. You should not like, I don't like them anymore, they don't answer to me anymore, let's move. No, sit down, calm down, count down 10, 9, 8, 7, etc. Calm down. Let's now think peacefully. Let's maybe consult with some consultants. Let's maybe discuss with some other things, just to relativize, if I can say, to not be emotional, to really be business oriented here. So the situation that can happen is that when you are moving to this notified body, as I've said, there are some situations also with the assessors. They don't understand your product, so it's a bit a nightmare for you to explain things. I think it can happen a lot with software, for example, because it was not really regulated a lot with notified bodies before. Now it is. So maybe you have some assessors or people that think that they understand all the software, but they don't understand. And now that there are artificial intelligence, there are maybe more things, etc. So this can be a situation here. Or you are facing a situation where you have to provide, they are pushing you to provide technical file for the slot here. It's that month. You provide that and you painfully provide that. And after that, you wait for 1 year, as I've said, maybe to receive some feedback, and they come back to you with 100 non-conformities, and you have to answer within 15 days. It's like, oh guys, stop. I just received that, I have not read them, and I have already to answer to everything, so let's settle down. So this is the problem, is about when you do it quick, it's fine, but when they are coming back and they ask you, and they are delaying the process which is also impacting you, this can be already a problem. And I imagine that more we are arriving to the final date, which is December 2027 or December 2028, more there will be this frustration, because you arrive, you say, okay, each time I provide and each time you are delaying the answer, or, okay, are we really meeting the date or not, etc. And this is why, I always told you, when you deal with notified body, try to deal with them earlier, if I can say, in anticipation. Don't think that, you have until December 2027 or December 2028. You have to do it as early as possible because of that mainly. So now, how to make the switch? As we said, we have to make the contract. So first, reassess your MDR submission status. So mainly where you are on this. If there was also something maybe I forgot to say before, if you have to switch or not. I had also some manufacturers that decided to switch because, as I've said, they had 100 non-conformities, they don't understand my product, etc., etc. So here, if you can really answer to those 100 non-conformities, and maybe they are, and usually it's like that, 50 or 70% of those non-conformities are small non-conformities, like, I was not able to find this file, or on this file I was not able to find the information that you are providing, etc. And it's frustrating even for us. I talked about that on a previous podcast also. Mainly you are here trying to put a technical file, putting the annexes, the references. I also put on my technical files, this information is in page, is in this document, page 14, paragraph 3.3, etc., with the title, it's like I highlight it, like it's here. I said, look at that. It's like a GPS. Here it is. And even with that, sometimes I was not able to find it. We had a situation. It was funny, this one, where they looked at the. I don't know what they have done, but they looked at the technical file, and I suppose they used artificial intelligence or a search thing, etc. They are looking at the intended purpose or intended use for a technical file, and it was saying, there are some misalignment between the intended purpose and intended use or intended document. I said, what? Really? Okay. And when we looked at all the instances I talk about, no, there was just some, like, we are intending to do this, our intent is to do that, etc. So they look at the keywords intended mainly, and they find out that, this is not aligned with it. But it's not aligned because it has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with intended purpose. It's the intention to do something else or whatever, etc. And it was like, really? What are you? So what we were doing is that we changed the keywords of intended to something else so that they are not finding this word anymore, and then we are in the right thing. So you see how stupid it can be. So it's why if you have some non-conformities, let's see if you can really solve them all before to, as I said, take an emotional decision to say, it's the third time we are not happy, etc., etc. Let's find out if we can solve that before you are really moving, because it will maybe cost you less to do that than to restart a full process from zero, because it will cost money also to do that.
Unearth the pulse of the medtech world with MedTech Conf, a dynamic platform featuring global events on medical devices, biologicals, IVD, and pharmaceuticals. Stay informed, stay ahead, connect, share, and elevate your knowledge. Become an official sponsor. Make your event shine on the map. MedTech Conf, your key to the medtech universe. Remember, the future is now, and it's at your fingertips with MedTech Conf.
So, as I said, before you are deciding really to move, contact the notified body and say, we are stopping with you, we are fed up, etc. Contact a new notified body. Check with them how they are costing, explain to them that you will move from another notified body, etc. Check all those things before you are really making this decision, because as soon as you are activating this withdrawal, if I can say, you have to have a next solution after, so that people are able to, you are able to transition from one to another. If there is 1 day of gap between the previous and the new notified body, then it's a problem for you, because then all your legacy device will not be able to continue to be on the market, because there is a gap between them. So it's why I'm saying no gap at all. I exaggerate when I say 1 day. I'm not really, but nearly. So don't have any gap between your previous notified body and the new one, because the previous notified body will inform you, DAMED, or inform the competent authority that they are stopping with you. So then the withdrawal is there, and then you have to inform the new notified body you take over from the same date, so that there is a continuity for that. When you will sign then the new agreement, you will verify again the new clauses, the dates, everything, and you have to stick to those dates. Also of labeling update, of all what we talked about before. I think there is also maybe some potentiality to contact your competent authority to inform them about the situation, just in case, because sometimes the competent authority, who is the one that is mainly dealing with the notified body, is has to be also informed. So maybe you can also have this this courtesy to inform them in case you want to be on the safe side. When is it not really affordable, or is not really a good decision to switch? So let's take it like that. Don't switch if so make it clear. If you are too close to the MDR certificate, if, for example, you are in December 2026 and you say, oh, I want to switch because I'm fed up, maybe it's a bit too late now, because you are really close to the December 2027 or 2028. Then you maybe miss the timeline and miss the deadline and miss everything. So it's why, if you are too close to the MDR certification, don't switch. So it means that better to switch early than to switch later. So try really to anticipate all this really in advance. It's like you are already at 90% of the process and you want to give up at that moment. And then you restart at 0%. So it's why, if you are really close at 90% of the process, plus you are really close to the due date for the transition period, or for moving to MDR, if you are not meeting this date, then you'll have to stop selling your device, and you will not be able to sell any device until you finalize your CE certification. So it's why, if you are really close to the MDR certification date, stop. I mean, don't stop, continue, but I really don't advise you at all to move to another notified body. If you think that your issues are temporary, it's because maybe at that moment there was some situation with maybe the notified body, and it's why you have really to open the discussion with them. Try to escalate that to the notified body. Try to see how we can solve that, or is there a potential solution from them, etc., etc. Just as I've said, because maybe it's just temporary. For example, you had an assessor that was a bit busy with another customer, so it's why he was delaying the assessment of your device, etc. But it's maybe 2 months of delay. It's better to have 2 months of delay and come back to a normal situation than to restart from zero and having 1 year again to review everything. So it's mainly also something that you have to reassess and to review. Another thing that maybe you should consider, but the problem is that how can you know? This is the problem. Maybe the new notified body has also a long queue, a long waiting line also related to your products. So for example, for your type of device, they have maybe 2 assessors or 3 assessors, and they are already fully booked for making the review of your technical file. So mainly, even if they are telling, yes, we have some slots, at the end you arrive and you are on the queue and waiting, and you arrive to a situation where it's maybe worse than the other one. So maybe the question that you will have to ask the new notified body to verify that, even if, as I said, people can just say yes, but it's no. Ask them the question first about their product, about your product. Do they have any experience about your product? Maybe, for example, we talk about a certain device, but your device is really special because of that. For example, now we talk about artificial intelligence. So your device is special because it contains artificial intelligence. Did you have this type of device containing artificial intelligence? Yes or no? What is their review backlog? I'm not sure they will tell you, but it's worth asking. What is your review backlog? Do you have already a lot of people waiting on the line, etc., etc.? If they have also some insight about the reviewer, do they have any background? I mean, can they provide any background of the reviewer? For example, did he already just came out of school and he's appointed as the assessor for the reviewer for your file, or was he working before for the same type of companies or for the industry, or was he just a PhD that transitioned from research to industry, etc., or to a notified body? Ask maybe those questions also before to review that. Yeah, maybe those people are really qualified to do what they have to do, and also about their transparency in terms of costs, in terms of timelines, in terms of communication. If they can tell you what is the best way to communicate, will you get assigned a project manager for your certification? What are the costs? What are the terms of payment? What if we go for an extra review time? How much extra will be there? Because me, because people, when they come to us and they ask us, oh, can you estimate how much it costs for a notified body, etc., we make an estimation from our previous experience, but it's an estimation only. Sometimes we arrive, say, okay, it's 50,000, but it arrives, it's 100,000, etc. So it's like, okay, it's a lot, it's the big difference. So we are really, it's not really easy, if I can say, to make an estimation. But what I'm always saying is that if a notified body comes to you with 100,000 euro, for example, for a certification, double this number. Just to be on the safe side, double this number, because I saw a lot of time that when they arrive to the round 1 of discussion, round 2 of discussion, round 3 of discussion, then the double arrives here. The double is not before, is here. It's when they are doing the extra work for review. For example, oh, I was not able to find the file. Oh, now so he spent maybe 1 hour looking for the file, so he charged you 1 hour, and then when you say, oh, the file is here, so then now he's charging you 2 hours or 3 hours for reviewing what is on the file, and maybe he comes out with a new non-conformity, or on this file you say this and that, so then you are answering the other thing, and then he gets again 2 or 3 hours to review all what you have said, etc. So you see, it can really increase quickly. So it's why having also some transparency on cost is really important. I mean, I say about the new notified body, but normally you should also do that with the original one. But now we are already on the transition period, so now it's more for the ones that wants to move to a new one instead of looking for the previous one. Next is about the reimbursement. I had also some people say, okay, yeah, but I paid already a lot of notified body. Will I get reimbursed for that? The answer is no, because they have worked on it, unless, for example, they said, oh, we'll do a full review of, let's say, a clinical evaluation or whatever, but at the end they haven't started the review. So you paid for it, but they haven't started the review, or they haven't provided anything. So then at the end, yes, you can maybe ask for reimbursement. But as said also, this has to be kind of mentioned inside your inside of your contract with them. So you have to verify with them on the contract what is written, what are the clauses for that, what are the situation for that. Because yes, maybe you say, I'm really fed up, keep your money and I will move to another one, but no, it's really a business decision. Remember, not emotional decision, a business decision. When you go to a new notified body, they will also charge you the same amount or double, etc. So then your product is also in danger, your company is in danger. So it's why you have really to take a business decision and not an emotional decision. Okay, so let's wrap up a bit. First, again, you are not stuck with your notified body. You have choice to move, but it's really a difficult choice. It's a choice that I will never take for any manufacturer. I will not say do it or not do it, because I mean it's really critical. This choice is critical. So the management or the team has to take this decision and then has to bear with the consequences for this decision. A transfer is possible to the new notified body, but having a contract also is needed for that. So you have really to be clear on the contract, who is doing what, when, etc. As I said, you have to motivate your old notified body to really engage with this and really engage with the process, even if I know that they are not really happy about that. But at the end, yeah, you have really to keep this good mood, good environment, good discussion, good communication with everybody, and not be mad at anyone for one. Remember, it's not, maybe I should call that, it's not an emotional decision, the podcast should call it, it's not an emotional decision, it's a business decision. So take a business decision. I know you are not happy, and nobody's happy, but calm down. Let's have a business decision. Is it good for us or is it bad for us? What should I do? How can I engage with this all notified body so that they are finalizing the process with us, etc., etc., etc. And as said, there are some guidances like the MDCG guidance 2022-4 and the Team NB position paper, which is Team NB is the Association for Notified Bodies, so mainly they know what they are talking about. So mainly use that to really have a square process, a good transition, and to understand exactly what you can do and not do for that. The notified body is a private company, so it's a relationship that you are building with them. So you have really to have a good relationship. I would not say it's a marriage, but mainly you have really to engage, discuss. They will help you, you will help them, etc., to understand your process, to accelerate this review. You'll provide as much detail as possible about your product, about you are the expert of the product, so you provide all the details about the safety, the performance, etc., of your products, and they will assess, oh yes, it's fine, yes, it's following this standard, yes, everything is okay. So help them, they will help you. It's really a relationship. You have really to work together about that. But if someone in the relationship is not really behaving correctly, then then there is this question: should I stay or can I? And like it's a marriage. I mean, if you are married with someone, you have to make some concessions. You have to explain. They have to readjust, etc. So there are a lot of things that works. You see, I'm married, so I know I know how this is. So I hope this helped you mainly to understand the situation for moving to another notified body. And as said, we can help to have a private discussion if you want. So contact me if you want to have a private discussion about that. But it's not an easy decision. It's not something I recommend. There are really multiple different steps before to arrive to this point of I'm fed up, I want to move to another notified body. So let's review all those points. Let's review maybe what are, as I've said, the non-conformities that they have found, or what are the communication issues, or what are the delays that they are providing, or can we really readjust that before to arrive to a point where we say, okay, I'm fed up with that. Okay, so it was really a pleasure to have this podcast with you. As I've said, go to the show notes. I will place the MDCG guidance link, the notified Team NB position paper link, the LinkedIn post also that we discussed, and you'll see the comments. And if you can also add your comments or add your points to it, would be really great, because I like when I read that I say, okay, it's not only one, maybe there are others. And it's also if I can say, a way to inform notified bodies about their service, the feedback of notified bodies, because you have to give them feedback. So mainly the idea is here, let's give them feedback about what maybe they can change or what they can update. And if you can put that also on the LinkedIn post, maybe this can gather a lot of things, and I hope notified bodies will also go there and read what is mentioned there. Okay, so it was really a pleasure. Thank you very much, and I wish you a nice day.